Good morning 5C. This is Mr. Wong. This is the second part of the lesson where I will go through the remaining MCQ question of your review paper 1 that you did in May. Once again, this one is inside the green file. I've marked already, definitely. This is your review paper. Just that I've only gone through question 1 to 11. So today we'll go through question 12, 13, and 14, 12, 13, 14, and 15 today. Today also is the last day of HBL. Today is the 20th of April. On Monday, if possible, we will do a Google Meet lesson, just to check in with you, see if you are fine, because I've not seen you for a month. I want to make sure that you are fine, you're still in one piece. So what happens that on Monday, if possible, join me on Google Meet. I'll put the link on SLS. If you are able to join, please join. If not, I'll be just staring at myself once again. So Monday we'll see each other on Google Meet, but for today we'll go through the remaining questions of your science review paper 1 MCQ questions. Okay, so we have done 11. That's the last question of the previous page. So now we're at 12. So 12, 13, 14, 15 are all revision of your past year's question. Okay, so it shouldn't be difficult, but let's revise a bit on what we have been doing for the past 2 years. So I have a part of the human digestive system. So ask yourself again, think about it. Human digestive system do what? Human digestive system do two things. One is to digest food into simpler substance. Okay, digest food into simpler substances such as your sugars, your proteins, or fats. Okay, so that they can be absorbed into the body easily, because the body cannot absorb a cheeseburger. Remember, the body can only absorb the simple substances, which is like your fats or sugars and your proteins, or even simpler than that. Okay, but that's not the only thing that the human digestive system do. Besides that, after you digest, you must also absorb it. If not, what's the point of eating? Okay, you digest into simpler substances already, then your body, which is your small intestine, will absorb all the digested food, and also the water for the large intestine. Okay, and what comes out of your body is your undigested food. Okay, so both water and digested food is absorbed. Everything else, which is the undigested food, won't be passed out of your body. So this is the two function of the human digestive system. So which of the statement is true about X? So if you look at X, what is X? You realize that X is actually your mouth. So write down what you know. This is your mouth. Okay, so X is your mouth. Which part is true about the mouth? Means I want things that are correct about the mouth. So let's go sentence by sentence. Digestion of food is complete here. Is the digestion of food complete here? Does the food only digest in the mouth? The answer is no. Okay, the digestion of food is only complete in the small intestine. Of course, it's still digested in the small intestine, but by the end of the small intestine, it will have been completely digested. So the process of digestion will end at the end of the small intestine. Okay, so this is wrong. Number 2, sentence B, food is grind into smaller pieces, correct? Okay, using our teeth. Okay, so the function of our teeth is to make the food into smaller substances, smaller but not simpler. Okay, so this is by our teeth. And then for the next one, water is removed from the food. Okay, it's not done by the mouth, it is done by the large intestine. Okay, okay, so removal of water or absorption of water is done in the large intestine. Absorption of food, of digested food, is done in the small intestine when it is completely digested. So digestion of food starts from here. Yes, the food enters the mouth, so the digestion of food starts from the mouth, both mechanical digestion, which is chewing into smaller pieces, and also remember your mouth has saliva. Saliva is a digestive juice. So the answer is B and D. So B and D, answer is 3. So the mouth actually start digesting food because the saliva is there and the teeth is there, but the teeth is there to grind it into smaller pieces so you can swallow it down. Okay, so that's question 12. Now let's go on to question 13. Okay, question 13, which of the following shows the correct order? Means which comes first, which comes next when food moves through some parts of the digestive system. So tell me which one, how does food go in our body after we swallow it, from which organ to which organ? So let's look at the first one. Stomach, okay. Stomach to large intestine is wrong. After stomach should be small intestine. Okay, so by right it should be small intestine. Let's write down. Okay, after stomach should be your small intestine, not your large intestine. Okay, only if it's large intestine, then it will be correct. Okay, so large intestine, after that go to your stomach? No. Large intestine is one of the last few organs in the digestive system. So after a large intestine shouldn't be the stomach anymore. It should be out through the anus really. Okay, so wrong. So the last one, after stomach is your small intestine, like what we said just now, correct? And after small intestine will be your large intestine, correct? So answer is 3. Okay, so this is just the correct order of correct flow of food from one organ to the next. You start from the mouth, followed by the gullet, followed by the stomach, followed by small intestine, large intestine, and then after that out through your anus for the undigested food. Okay, so next page is question 14. Okay, this is about light. Okay, last year in P4 we learned about light shining. So I have a torch. Torch is my light source. So write down your light source here. Source of light. Okay, torch is the one that gives the light. Wooden ball, what's so special about wooden ball? Wooden ball, we know that it is doesn't allow light to pass through. Okay, wooden ball do not allow light to pass through. So if wooden ball do not allow light to pass through, what do you think will be formed on the screen? Okay, I have a light source here. The light shines here towards the ball. The ball do not allow light to pass through, so you realize that there will be a black color shadow over here. Okay, let's perhaps use the correct color. There will be a black color shadow over here representing the ball. Okay, this is what we have done. This is what happens every day also. You are standing under the sun, you have a shadow at your feet because you are blocking the light from the sun. When you block the light, then you will form a shadow. So everything should be lighted up except for the center, which is the shadow, and it must be circular because it's a ball. So straight away, let's look at the answer. I cannot have a square shadow because the ball is round. I should have a black shadow which is round and the rest is lighted up. Okay, light cannot pass through the ball, so this part shouldn't be lighted up. So the answer is 2. So the shadow is only one color. Shadow will always be black color. It takes the shape of the object, which is a circle, and then everything else, because it's not blocked, it is still lighted up. Okay, so answer is 2. Okay, the very last one is about heat. So that was the last topic in P4. I have a hot coffee placed in a basin of cold water. So coffee is hot, basin of water is cold. Okay, so they're asking you which one gains heat, which one lose heat. Okay, let's think about it. Coffee is hot already. Can something hot in this scenario, when I put a hot coffee into a basin of cold water and ice cube, can a hot coffee gain more heat? There's no other heat source, right? So the hot coffee will lose heat. Okay, something that's hot, unless you give it more heat, it cannot gain more heat. You will start to lose heat to the surrounding, and in this case, lose heat to the cold water. And for the cold water, okay, you realize the cold water is surrounding the hot coffee, so the cold water will become warmer, warmer, and warmer. So what happens is that the cold water actually gains heat. And as the cold water gains heat, the cold water becomes higher temperature, and then the ice cube over here, which is also cold, will also gain heat, and we know that the ice cube will start to melt. Okay, this one will gain heat and melt. Okay, so once again, hot coffee, because there's no other heat source that's heating it, is starting to lose heat to the water and to the ice, so temperature will go down. Cold water temperature will go up because it's gaining heat from the hot coffee. Same thing for ice cube, it will start to melt. Why? Because it's gaining heat, and therefore it will go through a change in state. So which one's following is true? Which one gains? Okay, let's start with loose heat first. Which one lose heat is only the hot coffee, and there's only one option. So the ice cube also gain heat. So ice cube gain heat and melts. That's why after a while you don't see an ice cube there. Hot coffee becomes cooler. It loses heat. So answer is 1. Okay, so this is the answer for the remaining question of the MCQ. Make sure you get the corrections done, and when the school opens, I'll go through review the answers for structured and open-ended. Okay, see you on Monday for Google Meet.